The Trump administration is now calling Omar Artan, the Somali World Cup referee they turned away at the airport, a terrorist. That's the story I covered Tuesday, and it just got worse. Their evidence? They won't say. Just an anonymous official days later after the backlash got loud, whispering, quote, association with suspected members of terror organizations. Here's the update. When Artan landed in Miami, ready to become the first Somali ever to officiate a World Cup, border officers interrogated him for 11 hours. 11! He showed them his FIFA credentials, photos from his whole refereeing career. They grilled him about Somali politics, stuck him in a holding cell, and put him on a plane out, without ever telling him why. The White House FIFA task force, which is run by Rudy Giuliani's son, by the way, said there was a, quote, very good reason that they also won't share. Then, days later, after the outcry, an anonymous official floated the terrorism line. No name, no evidence, no charge. That's not vetting. That's a cover story written after the crime. Meanwhile, Artan flew home to Mogadishu, where thousands of people filled a stadium to welcome him home like a hero. And the mayor of Toronto and the premier of British Columbia in Canada, a country co-hosting this exact tournament, publicly invited him to come referee there instead. Our co-host is openly adopting the man we deported. My dudes, when Canada is doing your apology tour, you have lost the plot. And it's not just the ban list countries anymore. Hundreds of fans from Scotland had their already approved travel authorizations canceled with no explanation, some just hours before their flights. One dad, part of a family of about seven, about to lose $10,000 on the trip, no criminal record, doesn't even post on social media, called it what it is. Absolutely criminal. Some fans were told they'd need criminal background checks that take weeks to process. The tournament will be over by then. Scotland is not on any travel ban. These are the fans the system was supposedly working fine for. Scotland's First Minister is now raising it in Parliament. We are an international incident with a co-host credit. So what did all of this buy us? Empty seats. Days before kickoff, roughly 180,000 tickets were still unsold. FIFA quietly slashed prices across every single match and gave back 70% of the hotel rooms it had block booked because the demand isn't there. New York and New Jersey's attorneys general have subpoenaed FIFA over the ticket mess. And in New York, politicians are literally handing out free tickets to fill the stands. The greatest World Cup in history, they promised. They're now begging people to come for free. And look, the prices are a scandal of their own, but you can't threaten fans with the attorney general, cancel their travel at the gate, call referees terrorists, and detain players at the airport, and then act shocked that the world doesn't feel like coming. The empty seats aren't a ticketing glitch. They're an answer. We sent the world an invitation with a threat printed on the back, and the world read both sides. They're not staying home because they don't love soccer. They're staying home because they saw how we treat the people who showed up.
Today, I want to talk about Omar Abdul Qadir Artan. Omar was born and raised in Somalia, a country in East Africa. He has been a FIFA referee since 2018, and in 2025, he was crowned as the best male CAF referee. This year, he made history as he became the first ever Somali referee to be selected by FIFA for a World Cup. Omar became one of the 52 referees picked by FIFA to be part of the 2026 World Cup. He was set to become the pride and joy of his country. However, this historic moment was just stripped from him. Omar was denied entry to the US over the weekend in Miami, despite having a valid travel visa. In an official statement put out by FIFA, they said that FIFA is not involved in host country immigration processes, including visas, and has been informed by authorities that Mr. Artan's status will not be changed at present, handing all responsibility for this issue to the US. Somalia is one of the several countries that is currently on a travel ban mandated by Donald Trump's administration. I'm just going to end this video sharing a statement that was just put out by Sydney Leroux, who is a World Cup winner and a player for Angel City. Football doesn't care where you're from, what language you speak, or what flag is on your passport. It doesn't care about politics. It cares about sacrifice. It cares about the years that nobody saw, the early mornings, missed holidays, time away from your family, and the moments that you can never get back. A place at the World Cup should be decided by what you've given to the game and not where you were born. The World Cup is supposed to bring the world together and not remind us of the lines that divide us, because football is for everyone. Omar deserved to be at the World Cup.
Remember when the German national team wanted to boycott the 2022 World Cup because of human rights abuse? I think it's time we do it again for our brother Omar. The first Somali referee was denied entry into the USA for the World Cup. He had a valid visa, he's a diplomat, and he was appointed by FIFA, but for some reason he was still denied entry. Wallahi, this is actually so sad and it makes no sense at all. He deserves to be a referee in the World Cup. But then again,
Africa's best male referee, Omar Artan, has been denied entry to the USA just days before the tournament kicks off. The 34-year-old was set to become the first Somali man to ever be a referee at a FIFA World Cup, but now has had that dream taken away from him. Last week, FIFA confirmed that his visa situation was sorted, and the Somali Ministry of Youth and Sports say that Artan travelled to the US with a valid visa but was turned away at the border. He was denied entry to the country when he arrived from Istanbul into Miami over vetting concerns following a routine inspection. Now in 2025, Gianni Infantino said, "It's important to clarify this. There is a lot of misconception out there. Everyone will be welcome in Canada, Mexico and the United States for the FIFA World Cup next year, but just days before the tournament we've got situations like this arising and FIFA have got a problem on their hands in dealing with it." Now the beauty of the World Cup, of course, is that the whole world comes together and shares a passion and a love for football, but with situations like this occurring and numerous others like it, slightly different but under the same breath, all of these situations are happening, it begs the question, who is this World Cup really for?
Justice for Omar Artan. This is the worst World Cup I've ever seen in my life. Because why would America bid for the World Cup if they don't want to include everyone in the world at it? It don't make no sense. One of Africa's best refs. He's made the whole Somalian community super proud of him. And America deny him access. And for what? Just to show you got a bit of power? Embarrassing. Omar, we are all behind you.
This World Cup visa situation is worrying, yeah? Because how can America host the World Cup, but Africa's top referee reportedly cannot even enter the country? Omar Artan, yeah, was voted the best referee in Africa. He was meant to become the first Somali referee at the Men's World Cup finals. This is history, yeah, for Somalia, for Africa, for football. And now he misses out because of a visa? Man, he didn't lose his place because he was not good enough. He didn't lose it because of a mistake on the pitch. He lost his World Cup dream before he even got to the tournament. And that is painful. The World Cup is supposed to welcome the world, yeah? Players, fans, coaches, journalists, referees, everyone. So if someone who earned his place in football cannot even get through the system, then people are right to ask questions, yeah? Because what happens to African fans? What happens to people traveling from countries where visas are not easy? America wanted the World Cup, yeah? So America has to be ready for the world. Because, come on, man, you cannot call it the World Cup and then have stories like this, yeah, before the tournament even starts. Man, this is just, it's embarrassing if you ask me.
Africa are just one of the countries hosting the World Cup. They are not completely in charge of the World Cup, but yet it seems like everything revolves around them. The World Cup is being hosted by 3 countries. That's Canada, Mexico and the US. But we are having a lot of issue only from the US. And the FIFA don't even there's no word about it. The FIFA is just silent. I don't know what's going on. Not to talk about the time zone. We have a lot of issues. People are having issues already. Travel, ticket paid, hotel that has been booked, the time zone. There are a lot of issues. And the US are making things more difficult for fans. This was supposed to be a World Cup, man. I don't really think this was supposed to be the best World Cup in the history of football. Plus, we have a lot of legends who are going to retire after this World Cup. Talking about Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, Neymar Jr., which we know this is gonna be their last World Cup. This is gonna be their last World Cup. So, and they have a lot of fans. They have a lot of fan bases that want to be there to watch them. But the US keep making things difficult. Like, what the hell is going on? So please drop your comments. What do you think about this World Cup? Subscribe to my channel and turn on your notification bell. Stay updated. Thank you very much.